Great, thank you, Gene. Good evening, everyone, members of the City Council, various department heads, and the public. Welcome to our February 28th, 2022 City Council meeting. As most are aware, we start this meeting prior to the actual formal meeting. We have what's known as a caucus, within which the council members have an opportunity to debate, discuss, inquire about, ask questions regarding the various agenda items for tonight's meeting, as well as to ask various department members, those that are involved in the various communications and agenda items, any questions that they feel may be appropriate. All right, to that end, we have the administrative matters, including departmental reports. Moving on to communications from the mayor, item number 3. Mayor, I file a request City Council approve attached resolution waiving residency requirements for Lauren M. Jednick, who resides in Buffalo, to be appointed as Director of Development. Any comments? Anyone? Similarly, item number 4, from Mayor, I file a request to City Council waive residency requirement for Linda Marie Hibicki to be appointed as the City Controller. Anyone have any questions about that item? Now moving on to item number 5 from the department, our Director of Recreation, Brian Laxo. Request City Council authorize Codex Elite Sports Training to use Veterans Stadium for flag football games and practices, as indicated in their schedule between May 7th and July 31st, 2022. Proof of insurance was provided. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. Brian, when all this construction goes on at the stadium, what do we do in that case?
I was told by Commissioner DeSantis that the dates provided by not only Codex Elite, but the other flag football entity that they're kind of working not with, but around. They're familiar with each other, but they're not the same entity.
Right.
By the time that the time frames that they've presented have elapsed, the project still won't be underway. So it's not gonna, it won't interfere at all with the project.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Moving on to item number 6, again from the Director of Recreation, Brian Laxo. Request City Council authorize YMCA to use Bethlehem Park, Ridgewood Village, and Martin Road playgrounds for its Y on the Fly program. Program will run from Monday, June 27th to Friday, September 2nd, 2022, with specific dates yet to be scheduled, insurance provided. Anyone have any questions on that item? Moving on to item number 7, communication from Commissioner of Public Works, Anthony DeSantis. Request City Council approve 2 ordinances to transfer funds to various accounts to cover purchase of supplies for the remainder of 2022. And those items are broken down for appropriations for garage truck repair, tires, and garage highway supplies, and as well as amending the budget ordinance for a special revenue fund regarding garbage and refuse repairs and replacements. Anyone have any questions or issues on item number 7? Moving on to item number 8 from our city assessor. Our request City Council approve attached resolution establishing the property address along Dona Street extension, reserving the number 8 Dona Street. Anyone have any questions or issues on that item?
Are we approving a plot of land to be allocated as or designated as 8 Dona?
I think the site's already in existence, and it's just a matter of giving it a formal legal address to receive mail. And this happened on another location, I believe in the same development on Bethel Steel property where new construction is taking place. I believe that's the extent of it,
So it's an actual building?
as far as I know.
Mr. Council President, if I may,
Yes,
Chuck Clark. Amira, the 8 Donut Street is the designated address for the first Uniland spec building. It is right at the corner of Route, well, it's being constructed right at the corner of Route 5 and the new Donut Street extension. So the number 8 has been earmarked for that building.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Council President.
thank you, Chuck. Anyone else have any questions on that item? Item number 9, again from the city attorney, request city council approve attached ordinance to transfer funds to increase development consulting fees regarding the city hall pocket park. I know as a council in the past, we received requests authorizing funding. There were questions in my mind, at least at one point in time, as to why we seem to be coming back to the same item to what appear to be shortfalls. But I know that our city attorney, Rick Judah, has spent extensive time on these issues, as well as our acting city controller, Peggy B. Guy, to try to resolve the different setouts and line items, which included, I believe, transfers of funds internally between the pocket park and possibly the Ridge Road remilling and restriping. And now it's a little bit difficult to unravel what has been done in its entirety, but assurance were given by our city attorney that a full report will be forthcoming. But in the meantime, there are certain obligations that are required of the city that have been lingering and malingering and really need to be addressed. Does anyone have any questions on this issue? Or in the same token, if our city attorney, Rick Judah, I saw his name pop up on the screen, cares to jump in at this point in time with any additional.
Yeah, so Council President, I think you hit the nail on the head, but I'd like to add to that a little bit. The connector pocket park between the Botanical Gardens and Ridge Road, which is on the east side of City Hall, as well as certain improvements along Ridge Road have been covered by a grant. The grant was applied for and awarded several years ago, before Mr. Stanton became Director of Development. There's been some ongoing changes, but the short of it is Pinto Construction completed work. There's about $70 that needs to be paid to them, and the transfer of this money will allow the Director of Development's office to pay that bill. And then I had indicated to the Council President privately and to the mayor that I'm working with the city controller, and we're going to give a full report to both the council and the mayor as to the exact costs, what was covered by the grant, what wasn't covered by the grant, and what shortfall, if any, there is, and why it developed. But basically, there's a couple what they call GERFs or pay apps that are into the state now, and we expect to get reimbursed monies. But rather than make Pinto wait 6 or 5 months, whatever, to get reimbursed, we'd prefer to pay them. They've been nothing but admirable, and they've made changes and they've done things that we've asked for all along. So they want to get paid so they can finish paying their subcontractors. And like I said, we expect to get reimbursed, but to the extent that this total project resulted in a shortfall, I'm assuming there's going to be some shortfall costs, but I don't know the full extent of those.
Thank you, Mr. Judah. And to that extent, based on your examination of the documentation, have you reached any kind of a conclusion at this point in time? Are you satisfied that everything is appropriately covered and that these are all legitimate? And
there's no improprieties. It's just I think it's just accounting and reimbursements, and we've actually gone back to the state a couple times, and I think I'm hoping that we'll be pleasantly surprised when it's all said and done. But I wouldn't be surprised if there is a small deficit.
And is it also my understanding, Rick, that based on the guidelines and the requirements and the parameters of the grant for the pocket park, that engineering and consulting fees were not part of that grant, and that the
So-
city bears that responsibility?
Yeah, so here's the grant never included engineering costs. However, the state, when the first 4 pay applications were submitted to the state, we included engineering costs and the state approved it. So there's a paper trail now from the state representatives stating that although they've approved it in the past, they wouldn't approve future engineering costs, but they weren't going to go back and assess us for the ones that they previously approved. So basically, we got reimbursed for some engineering costs, but we don't expect to get reimbursed for all of the engineering costs. But to answer your question, the answer is yes. It was never contemplated by the grant that engineering costs would be covered by that.
Thank you, Rick. And for the public's consumption, can you tell us how much money you're looking to have or is needed to be transferred at this point in time?
So I think the next item on the agenda, if you look at the ordinance, it specifies the 2 invoices to Pinto. I think one of them is, I don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry, but the one of them was for 35,000.
Got it.
9.
There's, $35,910, $52,949.07, $13,400.84. The $52,000, I think we're getting, has been paid. We need to be reimbursed on that, but the $35,900 plus and $13,400 plus, you're asking to be,
Yeah, so the 35,000 and the 13,000 are monies that are due Pinto. The other money, the director of development had asked that I have transferred back to his consulting budget because he had paid other costs with that, and that will enable him to keep, or that office to keep moving forward through the end of this fiscal year.
very good. Thank you, Rick. Anyone have any other questions on that item or for our city attorney, Mr. Judah?
I do. So just so you can help me understand better, is this money that we're fronting and then will ultimately be reimbursed by the grant?
Yes, okay. But as I indicated to the council president, the total grant was for $1.4 million. There were costs that were incurred along the way. There were a couple of changes. The director of development worked with the director of development and with our engineers, and we cut some things out of the budget to save some money, some things that we decided to do ourselves. So when it's all said and done, I'm telling you, I don't know what the total amount of the reimbursement is, and we do expect to have some type of a deficit, but hopefully it won't be it won't be a lot. I'm hoping, and I expect to give the council and the mayor a full report. But in the meantime, yes, the 48,000 that's going to Pinto is reimbursable. It's already been submitted to the state, but it's going to take time for them to process it,
Okay.
and they've earned the money.
And I recall it's overdue, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And just to let everyone know, our engineering firm, CPL particularly, has been particularly helpful above and beyond their contractual obligations in helping us identify the exact costs and deal with some of the subcontractors. If I understand that correctly, Mr. Judah.
Yes, they have.
Jason
Yes.
was a tremendous help, and so we owe him a debt of gratitude. CPL is the engineering firm.
Were we penalized anything for having a late payment?
No, but if we don't make the payment, then, I would expect they would ask for something. They've been very patient and they've done very good work, Pinto.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else on that issue? All right, moving on to item number 10, which became part of our discussion just now from our city attorney, request approval for attached resolution authorizing the mayor to execute, I'm sorry, I strike that. Authorizing the execution of a stop DWI contract between the county of Erie and the city of Lackawanna. Anything further on that, Mr. Judah?
This is a formality. Brian, are you familiar with that? I think we do it every year. It's a program through the county, and there's one of the requirements is a council resolution. The other requirement, I think, is an insurance certificate. But it's a program that we've worked along with the county for, I believe, many years, and I'm sure some of the council members might be familiar with it from past years.
Yeah.
I'm not personally very familiar with it, but I know that it has been in existence for decades. It was, you know, at least the 3 decades that I have been in city, either in this capacity or my prior capacity as a detective. I've always heard of the Stop DWI program, so it's longstanding.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone else? All right, moving on, communications from citizens, item number 11. Communication from Manager Kwasniewski. This matter came up at a prior council meeting. Request City Council authorize use of public streets for the 3rd annual Ashley May 5K run walk for domestic violence awareness, which would include the designated areas from Senior Center, Galani Park, Martin Road. In addition, cooperation of the Lackawanna Police Department for safety purposes is also being requested. Anyone have any comments on item number 11? Moving on to item number 12, from Michael Cusack, request council approval for parade permit. Raising the Irish flag next to the city's American flag on a podium for speakers near the flag raising at the 2022 St. Patrick's Day parade and festivities. As stated, anyone have any comments on that? All right, there've been requests for both Class 1 and Class 2 entertainment licenses. Class 1 live music or mechanical reproduction, Murph's Grill, Warsaw Grill, the Nightcap, and the Poorhouse Sports Bar. The Class 2 would be the Steel City Pub, American Legion Post 63, and Jay's White Elephant. Anyone have any comments or questions on those items? If not, and if everyone's on board, then we can move forward to calling the formal meeting of the Lackawanna City Council for February 28th, 2022 to order. This is by remote Zoom format. And Mr. City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Council President, do we want to do the pledge?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for reminding me. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thanks again, Jeff, for reminding me.
The roll call, Council Muflahi,
Present.
Anderson,
Here.
Moretti,
Here,
Sirdike,
doesn't have your speaker on.
Present.
Morano,
Here.
Department Heads, Law,
Here,
Development. Okay, we're replacing him, so he's not there. Public Works,
Here.
Public Safety,
Here.
Controller,
Here.
Recreation,
Here.
Public Information,
Here.
Okay, hearings from citizens, as stated during caucus, we have a couple of those we'll get to during the regular portion of the meeting. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 7th, 2022.
Morano moves to adopt minutes of February 7th, 2022 as written.
Moretti second.
A motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt minutes of the February 7th, 2022 meeting is written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Departmental reports 1 and 2.
Morano moves to receive and file departmental reports 1 and 2 inclusive.
Second Anderson.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to receive and file departmental reports 1 and 2. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Communications from the mayor, number 3, Mayor Iafallo requests the city council approve the attached resolution waiving the residency requirement for Lauren M. Jednick, residing in Buffalo, to be appointed as Director of Development.
Morano moves to receive and file act on resolution.
Moretti second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file act on resolution. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. That resolution pursuant to chapter 5-38 of the municipal code of the city of Lackawanna, the residency requirement for Lauren M. Jednick, Director of Development, be and in the same is hereby waived.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Moretti second.
I have a motion by Morano,
Uh,
second by
On the
Moretti to
question,
adopt.
on the
Go ahead.
question,
Yes, Councilman Sirdike?
yeah, is that the resolution or is it, I got a different resolution here. Says that the mayor's gonna appoint her tomorrow. Resolution 2022, it's in the back pages here. Is that the resolution we're passing or the one that you just read?
It's the waiver of the residency requirement.
Yeah, I understand. Okay,
So-
so what's this other one I got here?
Isn't that a letter to, a letter of appointment?
Council
No,
President, if I might,
Yes.
there's 2 items that are necessary for council approval. One is is the approval of her appointment, and one is the waiver of the residency. A lot of times we waive the residency after someone's been appointed. In this case, the mayor's asked for you to waive the residency, so that's really the only item that should be on the agenda right now. After the formal appointment, the council should be notified, and then you'll obviously approve that appointment as well. So.
Oh,
I don't think
okay.
she's- Yeah, so I hope that clears up any confusion.
yeah, so I'm not going crazy. I got something else here, right? That you sign, Rick? Whereas Laura M. Jeddick shall be duly appointed by Mayor Iafallo, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
We're not doing.
that might have been the cover letter, just sending it down to the council, correct?
No. The resolution covers both the mayoral appointment and the waiving of the residency. If you read it, the first paragraph says she shall be duly appointed by the mayor, and then it goes on to say the council is waiving the residency.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting. That's my question.
Right. That's what we do every time when there's a request like this.
Okay. Well, that ain't what you read. Is it?
Because it's I don't read them verbatim at the council meeting. I paraphrase
Oh. okay.
like we've always done.
We always read them. I thought, okay. So what are we voting on?
Whether you're going to waive the residency requirement.
No, I'm asking Rick Judah, what are we voting on?
I told you what you should be voting on, which is waiving the residency requirements. Council Clerk DePasquale is reading it different. I don't read it that way. Okay, the mayor's gonna have to do a formal appointment letter, and then it's gonna have to come down to council for approval as well in a second, which I assume will happen at the next meeting.
Awesome, okay. Then we're just voting on the residency,
Correct.
waiving. Okay,
And if Jeff, if you need to amend any language in there, now's the time to strike it, but
No, it's just the council's never actually approved the appointments. Mayor makes them. But
Correct.
whatever, you don't need a resolution for that, but okay, however you want to do it.
Well,
What about-
doesn't the council normally receives and file an appointment, correct?
Right.
Normally.
Okay, so
Right.
that's all. Okay.
Um,
Do we know what the salary is for this job, or are we just guessing? Or it doesn't matter?
I'm not
I
privy to
don't know
that.
what the salary is.
Pardon?
Rick?
There's a
I
budgeted
don't know what
amount,
the salary
but
is.
I don't know what the conditions of any new employment are, so I can't state anything on that.
We don't know either. Okay, thank you.
All right, so I have a motion by Morano and a second by Moretti to adopt the resolution as written, and that is regarding the waiver of the residency requirement. Let's start the vote again, if we may. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Okay, carried 5-0. Item number 4, Mayor Iafallo, this is the same. Request the city council approve the attached resolution waiving the residency requirement for Linda Marie Hibicki residing in Tonawanda to be appointed as city controller.
Morano moves to receive and file act on resolution.
Already second. Anybody out there?
Yeah, that's,
So I have a motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file act on resolution. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Carried 5-0. The resolution pursuant to chapter 5-38 of municipal code of the city of Lackawanna, the residency requirement for Linda Marie Hibicki, city controller B, and the same is hereby waived. Muflahi, or I'm sorry, I need a motion.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Second Anderson.
I have a motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt resolution as written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Carried 5-0. Communications from division department heads, number 5. Director of Recreation requests the city council authorize the Codex Elite Sports Training to use Veterans Stadium for flag football games and practices as indicated in their included schedule between May 7th and July 31st, 2022. Proof of insurance has been provided.
Muflahi moves to approve request.
Second Anderson.
Motion by Muflahi, second by Anderson to approve request. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
yes,
Carried 5-0. Number 6, Director of Recreation requests the city council authorize the YMCA to use Bethlehem Park, Ridgewood Village, and Martin Roads playgrounds for its Y on the Fly program. This program will run from Monday, June 27th to Friday, September 2nd, 2022, with specific dates yet to be scheduled. The YMCA is fully insured.
Muflahi moves to approve request.
Second Anderson.
I have a motion by Muflahi, second by Anderson to approve request. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
yes,
Carried 5-0. Number 7, Commissioner of Public Works requests the city council approve 2 ordinances to transfer funds to various accounts to cover the purchase of supplies for the remainder of the year, 2022 fiscal year, that is.
Morano moves to receive and file act on ordinance.
Moretti second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file act on ordinances. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Carried 5-0. The first ordinance is an ordinance amending the 2021-2022 budget ordinance adopted May 17th, 2021 to increase appropriations for garage truck repair and tires and garage highway supplies.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Moretti second.
They have a motion by Morano, second by Moretti to adopt ordinance as written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Carried 5-0. The second ordinance is an ordinance amending the 2021-2022 budget ordinance adopted May 17th, 2021 to increase The budget for special revenue fund, garbage and refuse, repairs and replacements.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Ready,
Maflahe,
second.
I've got a motion by Morano, second by Muflahi to adopt ordinance as written. Muflahi,
yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Number 8, city assessor requests the city council approve the attached resolution establishing the property address along the Dona Street extension, reserving the number 8 Dona Street.
Maflahe moves
Morano
to
moves to receive and file act
Yeah.
on resolution.
Okay, we had two of you. We had Morano and Muflahi. Who wants to,
We'll go with Muflahi.
okay, I need a second.
Ready, second.
I have a motion by Muflahi, second by Moretti to receive and file act on resolution. Muflahi,
yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. The resolution pursuant to chapter 194-7 of the municipal code of the city of Lackawanna, the parcel of land, which is sublot number 141.15-1-6, be renamed and renumbered 8 Dona Street.
Maflahe moves to adopt resolution as written.
Anderson, second.
Motion by Muflahi, second by Anderson to adopt resolution as written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Item number 9, city attorney requests the city council approve the attached ordinance to transfer funds to increase development consulting fees regarding the city hall pocket park.
Morano moves to receive and file act on ordinance.
Ready,
Anderson,
second.
Motion by Morano, second by Moretti to receive and file act on ordinance. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. The ordinance amending the 2021-2022 budget ordinance adopted May 17, 2021, transferring funds to increase appropriations for development consulting fees in order to pay Pinto Construction until grant reimbursement is received.
Morano moves to adopt ordinance as written.
Anderson, second.
Motion by Morano, second by Anderson to adopt ordinance as written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Number 10, city attorney requests the city council approve the attached resolution that authorizes the mayor to execute the 2022 stop DWI contract between the county of Erie and the city of Lackawanna. Full text of the contract is on file in the city clerk's office.
Morano moves to receive and file act on resolution.
Maflahe seconds.
Motion by Morano, second by Muflahi to receive and file act on resolution. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. The resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to enter into a formal agreement with the county of Erie to execute the stop DWI contract commencing January 1st, 2022 and terminating December 31st, 2022.
Morano moves to adopt resolution as written.
Maflahe seconds.
They have a motion by Morano, second by Muflahi to adopt resolution as written. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Communications from citizens, number 11, Andrea Kwasniewski, resident. She requests the city council authorize the use of public streets for the 3rd annual Ashley May 5K Run Walk for domestic violence awareness. This event is scheduled on Sunday, June 26, 2022. It will start at 10 a.m. and will begin and end at the Senior Center, Galani Park on Martin Road. In addition, she is asking for assistance from the Lackawanna Police Department at main intersections for safety purposes.
Maflahe moves to approve the request, refer to Director of Public Safety, DPW Commissioner, and Director of Recreation.
second, Sirdike,
A motion by Muflahi, second by Sirdike to approve request, refer to the Director of Public Safety, DPW Commissioner, and Director of Recreation. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano,
Yes.
carried 5-0. Item number 12, Michael J. Cusack, Thomas McGowan, Patriots Club, requests a city council approval for a parade permit raising the Irish flag next to the city's American flag and a podium for speakers near the flag raising at the 2022 St. Patrick's Day Parade and festivities. Events will be held Thursday, March 17th, 2022, beginning with a special mass at Our Lady of Victory Basilica at 12:10 p.m., followed by the parade, raising of the flag, and followed by comments from guest speakers.
Maflahe moves to approve the request refer to Director of Public Safety and DPW Commissioner.
Moreno,
Second,
second.
Sirdike.
I have a motion by Muflahi, second by Moretti to approve request, refer to the Director of Public Safety and DPW Commissioner. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
yes,
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes,
Morano.
Yes,
Carried 5-0. We have some entertainment licenses, Class 1 live music and or mechanical reproduction for Murph's Warsaw Grill, 1 Warsaw Street, the Nightcap at 1769 Abbott Road, and the Poorhouse Sports Bar at 2847 South Park Avenue.
motion to approve, Sirdike.
Moreno seconds.
So I have a motion by Sirdike, second by Morano to approve the aforementioned Class 1 entertainment licenses. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
yes,
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes,
Morano.
Yes,
We have some Class 2 coin-operated mechanical reproduction, Steel City Pub, 1449 Abbott Road, American Legion Post 63, 144 Kirby Avenue, and Jay's White Elephant, 1404 Abbott Road.
Moreno moves to approve the aforementioned Class 2 entertainment licenses.
Moretti second.
We have a motion by Morano, second by Moretti to approve the aforementioned Class 2 entertainment licenses. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
yes,
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
yes,
Morano.
Yes.
Carried 5-0. Mr. Council President.
Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. Before we begin addressing any table or items or old business, our Director of Public Safety has asked for the floor for a few minutes on a very appropriate topic, and I would ask Mr. Wolf to address the council and the public at large.
Thank you, Council President. Just real quickly, 2 things. One, with the fire department, first off, which this incident occurred today, just earlier this afternoon. Distraught individual from Baker Homes made her way to the Lackawanna Stadium and climbed a light pole, and firefighters Paucheski, Moretti, and Ortega, using the ladder truck and talking to this girl for an extensive period of time, were able to get her down from the light pole without any injury. And I just wanted to take a minute. You know, I could talk about the fire department, the police department, every single meeting. These guys do just a fantastic job. But you know, other firefighters were there as well, the entire Lackawanna Fire Department. But those 3 were on the ladder and talked this girl down and got her down safely. That's the first one. And the second one is last week, I believe it was February 23rd. There was a fire at the Buffalo's Best Catering on Ridge Road. And prior to the fire departments getting there, and when they had just arrived, West Seneca and Lackawanna, Officer Will Straylow, along with a West Seneca police officer, were able to get a extension ladder and get up on the roof of the burning building, and actually assisted getting several people out and saving lives there. So I just want to take a minute to thank both the fire department and the police department for just a job well done, which they do on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Wolf. I'm sure I speak for the City Council. We would like to extend our sincere, heartfelt gratitude to the police department and to the fire department for another exemplary example of professionalism and dedication as first responders, especially when lives are on the line. So would you please communicate our sense of gratitude to both departments, Director Wolf, and thank everyone on our behalf. Anyone else wish to share any sentiments? You're welcome to do that now. All right, that brings us to either table items or old business. Is there anything anyone wishes to discuss at this point in time?
Council President, can I have the floor?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so if you recall, when Mr. Szymanski's last meeting, he had proposed a resolution to rescind the approval of the Verizon contract for the 5G network within the city. And I believe the basis of that was because of an article that he had found regarding radio wave frequencies and interference and things of that nature. And I believe the council, I'm not sure if you tabled it. I know you didn't act on it, so I don't know what happened with that, but I wanted to report back to the council on that item because I know the council is waiting for a response. So after that meeting, I had sent letters out to the woman that handled the contract negotiations for Verizon, and she's been on maternity leave, but I also spoke to another representative there, and he was kind enough to get back to me, and we spoke at length. And basically what he told me was, he told me that industry and that 5G network is very highly regulated by the FCC, and they are restricted in the amount of radio waves that they can generate from their various apparatus or antennas that they use. One of the things he mentioned to me is that when they do start to introduce the system in the city of Lackawanna, that they have some type of a meter or something where they can actually give us the level of radio wave frequency that's being generated. But he assured me that because of the type of regulation they undergo, that we should have no problems whatsoever with any of the types of interference issues that were in that article that Mr. Szymanski raised. So I wanted to report that back to the council.
So I have a
Oh.
question. I have a question
Go
to
ahead.
Attorney Judah. So is that why we haven't had 5G and I've had a subpar signal from Verizon within the past several months? Is that something that we decided in the past not to introduce in the city?
No, I think it's Verizon's, Verizon has a plan to introduce 5G into Western New York and other parts of the state. And that's going to take some time, but I don't know what the timetable is. Certainly, we weren't, we haven't held it up. So, what the issues are there, I don't know whether it's got to deal with approvals from the FCC or lining up contractors or lining up other municipalities. I don't know, but
Okay.
so I really can't, I can ask, but I don't know. I think they told me they do plan to do something in this year though, in 2022.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Dua. On another note, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Richard Stanton, who has left the employment of the city of Lackawanna as our Director of Development. He was very instrumental in a lot of the legal work that was done at such a high level from that office, especially regarding Bethlehem Steel property and the various legalities and hoops that are required that any business jump through in order to locate on that property. And I know he's taken a more substantial job in another sector, and we wish him Godspeed. And I'd like to thank him for the time he spent with the city and his efforts along those same lines. If anyone else wishes to comment, you can do so at this time.
I know I'm not a voting member of the council, but I as well would like to thank Mr. Stanton. The good thing is the new employment he's taken will enable him to keep involved in Bethlehem Steel redevelopment. And, his knowledge of zoning and planning board law is second to none. So I wish him well. And, he's assured me that he's available if I run into any issues that need his expertise.
Thank you, Rick, and that's reassuring. Anyone else?
Also, I would like to thank him too for all the projects that I've worked on that he helped me with, and he did a great job for me, and I really appreciate that. Wish him nothing but the best.
Thank you, Councilman Moretti.
Mr.
Anyone else?
Council President, Kevin Surek,
Yes, sir.
yes, I talked to Rick Stanton personally, and I thanked him for all he did for the city. And he assured me that if we have any questions, we can call him. He said, but after 4 o'clock. So, I got one other thing I was gonna thank Tony DeSantis for putting, I had him put a couple of signs on South Park by Knowlton and one by Kirby about the state law. You're not allowed to block the side roads. And he must have put them up last week. Thank you. I was getting a lot of complaints from the residents trying to pull out of Kirby, trying to pull out of Knowlton, that the people at the red light at Martin are blocking that side entrance. And maybe that's something we could try to get some of the police over there to give a couple tickets out, or, you know, make a presence there in the future if these signs don't work. I know every time I pull up there, there's somebody blocking the road usually. And one other thing, today I went down Martin Road and there was like a dozen signs on telephone poles. It's my pet peeve. There's signs all over the place. Free cats, buy my house, cash for cars, insulin strips. What, I mean, you don't see that in Orchard Park or West Seneca. Do we have any recourse? Can we tear them signs down and keep tearing them down? Mr. DeSantis? Is he here?
Sure. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Did you see him? I mean, you drive there on the way home every day. There had to be a dozen of them today.
I actually am looking at two of them right now from outside my window.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like a yard sale is going on in the whole city.
Yeah, well, those signs are not supposed to be up. We could tear those down at our will. I'll make sure that I send some orders down to the garage to have a crew every once a week check for signs and pull them down.
That'd be great. Yeah, in their travels or whatever. I don't know. They must have put a ladder up to put them yellow ones up over the weekend because they're up high. So
Martin South Park is a big area for those types of signs. So
yeah, well, the whole Martin Road had them today. So all right.
Okay.
Thanks for putting them dead ends. There's block signs up on the
No problem.
side roads. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
All right, anyone else have anything they wish to bring up at this time?
Mr. Council President, if I can have just 30 seconds to go back to Director Stanton.
Yes, Mr. Clark.
Thank you. I just wanted to assure everybody here and the public, probably other than Mr. Judah and the mayor, I worked as closely with Rich as anybody in City Hall. And those efforts over the last 2 years, we have a great, in place now, we have a great business development pipeline that has connected us to developers, other partners, advertising opportunities. There's a great connection now between Lackawanna and the development community. And I thank Rich for teaching me what he did to help me do what I do. More importantly, as Lauren steps into the job, Lauren will walk in with a very friendly network of people. Lackawanna has a growing and emerging reputation in the development field. And, you know, with the help of this council, obviously with the mayor's leadership, Lauren will be stepping into a great place. And a lot of it has to do with the work that Rich did to teach me and put in place some things that will allow this transition to go smoothly. So rest assured, we will continue to move forward. We'll miss Rich, but we will move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Well said. And again, we thank Mr. Stanton for his efforts. Many of the things that he was involved in and his level of expertise will be missed to a degree. But we're looking forward to Lawrence coming up and stepping into rather large shoes, and I'm sure she'll do an exemplary job also. I know she's a very dedicated person. All right, anyone else have anything else?
Mr. President, if I may speak about the closing of the Olev Family Center very briefly.
Yes.
I wanted to speak directly to the residents of the city of Lackawanna and express to them that we worked very hard to try to to negotiate with OLV and to have the center stay open. However, that was a decision that they already had made. And if anything, our hard work brought the awareness to the residents that the center was going to be moving. It officially closed as of February 18 and consolidated its services on the, I believe it's in Buffalo on Louisiana Street. But I also wanted to reassure the citizens of Lackawanna that we are working really hard to interview prospects of healthcare centers to move into the city and to provide the services that the void that was left from CHS, especially serving the first ward area of Lackawanna. So although there is nothing right now, we are working diligently to fill that void.
Thank you, Councilwoman Muflahi. There does look like we have a bright lining with potential partner out of the city of Buffalo. And that's, I know, being worked on presently. And is showing some great promise, and there's a great interest by that entity to come into the city of Lackawanna for the very services that we are now lacking, especially in the first ward. I too reached out to one of the administrators at OLV in an effort to see if the location at 227 Ridge Road is for sale, is for rent, in case the new entity may want to locate there, and as to whether or not there's any infrastructure there that might be helpful, almost like a turnkey operation with existing equipment that might be purchased or arranged for use. But unfortunately, I didn't get a return call, so I couldn't keep that momentum going. So I was kind of disappointed to not hear back from that particular department in OLV, but we'll see. All right, anyone else?
Mr. Council
Yes.
President,
Yes,
before we adjourn, we have a few people that I'd like to possibly adjourn the meeting in honor. Is that
sure,
okay?
go ahead.
I'd like to adjourn today's meeting in honor of U.S. Coast Guard veteran and Lackawanna Police Detective, Paul Doc Strike Charles, who passed away recently. These are all good Lackawanna people. Also, Josephine Kendrick, longtime pillar of the First Community. Used to take all the pictures down in the Housing Authority down. I don't know if you know Josephine, great little woman.
Well, very well, very well.
And Marcia Paulzak is a former Lackawanna school employee. May they all rest in peace. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilman. Was that in form of a motion to adjourn?
Yes, sir. And
I'll second that along with all the rest of the council members. Maybe we
Thank
could
you.
make it at all.
yes,
Very good.
Jeff, did you get all those names?
I did. I got a motion by Sirdike, second by et al. To adjourn the meeting in honor of U.S. Coast Guard veteran and Lackawanna Police Officer Doc Strachars, community activist and well-respected member Josephine Kendrick and Marcia Paulzak.
Right.
With
Thank you.
that, I need the vote. Muflahi,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Morano.
Yes.
All right, well, next council meeting, March 14th, that's still within the parameters of the governor's executive order to run remote Zoom meetings. We haven't heard whether she's going to extend that or not, so
Next meeting.
I'm assuming the council then would like to continue with the remote Zoom at least for the next meeting?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's within the parameters of the executive order, so for the public's information, the next meeting, I guess, will still be remote Zoom until we hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. All right. I thank you all for
Folks.
attending, for watching, and have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.